Hi there, I am Lori Delk.
Hello, and I am Catherine Sarah Myers. Rah-Rah is in the house.
And we are the Gratitude Girls. And while we speak to you tonight, right below this video, if you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to ask us, please send your messages right there. We have a special guest on with us tonight. Many of you know.
Oh, Lori, I miss you. I miss you. I'm so happy to see you. We have so much to say to each other.
Catherine, check your other browsers.
Okay.
And we have our special guest with us tonight. As many of you know, Catherine and I both are in this amazing greeting card and gifting company, and our VP of Marketing is with us tonight, Miss Vanessa Hunter. Welcome, Vanessa.
Hi, it's so nice to be here with you ladies.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
It is my pleasure.
Vanessa, where are you speaking to us from tonight? What part of the world are you in?
I am in the office in Salt Lake City this evening.
Wow, so that's fantastic. Lori, you're in Columbia, Tennessee. I'm in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and you're in Salt Lake City. It's so wonderful, wonderful to have you here with us and to be sharing on Gratitude Girls. I'm sure we could devote an entire month to speaking with you. Vanessa, I'm sure that you have so many gratitude stories. I'd like to ask you, would you have a gratitude story that you would like to share with us and our audience this evening?
Absolutely. I have, like you said, Catherine, I have many, many, many stories. There are so many that come to mind that I don't even know where to begin, but I can tell you that one of the things that that I'm very, very grateful for as I come up on my 1-year anniversary with Send Out Cards, is the fact that I have found something to do that truly brings me great joy. And I don't know a lot of people that can say that in life when they go through life and they choose careers and they choose jobs, and many, many times we choose something that we think may not be a great fit for us, but it certainly pays the bills for us. And I'm blessed to have been on this adventure for, you know, my whole career, which is 20 plus years in this industry, but to have found a company that I feel like my contribution is truly valuable to the company, but in return, I feel like what I've gained from the company is even more valuable. And I don't know a lot of people that can say that about their careers. So that would be the #1 thing that I'm grateful for, is to have found a job that I am absolutely passionate about and in love with.
Well, Vanessa, you are a lovable person. So I could only imagine that wherever you would go, you would feel the love. You give so much love, and you know what you're giving out is what you're getting back. We look forward to getting to know more about you. And on Gratitude Girls, and you're such a perfect guest for us for so many reasons, because you have a passion. We really would like to know a few things. So as you know, I'm from New York, so I have a bit of a New York approach to things, and that's right to the point. You know, I just think that's the soft approach. So let me see if I can ask you a couple of questions. It won't be too tough, but I'm very grateful that you're here. So for someone who wants to know about Vanessa, if we want to get to know you a little bit better, is there something that you can share with us so we can stay on your good side?
Staying on my good side, let's see, that requires honesty and following through on your commitments. That would be, those are two of the things that I find very, very, it's something that's so simple in life, and one of those things that a lot of people don't do. So, for me.
And Vanessa, you have a family, correct?
I do. I have a husband in San Diego, and where I am most of the time when I'm not traveling for Send Out Cards. and I have 2 grown daughters. One is living in LA, and the other one lives just north of us in San Diego, in Oceanside, and she's going to school right now.
And I know you have a furry family member.
Excuse me?
You have a furry family member, too.
Oh, yes, I do. I have 2 fur babies.
Tell us their names.
The crazy dog lady. But I have 2 adorable dogs that are my life. They are such a pleasure. And, you know, it's funny with animals. You have the opportunity to give to this little furry friend that all they do is love you. And I love going home to San Diego and seeing these 2 just jumping up for joy when they see me. There's no better feeling.
And it's such a feeling, like, I miss having our animals. I really do, because we recently moved, but I follow, you know, people with animals, and I know what it feels like, and I remember, and I'm this close, Vanessa, I'm this close to having a 4-legged animal in our home. I don't know, I visit stores, and I look in the windows, and I watch people, and I know that your animals are important to you. Can you share a story with us about your little babies?
Well, I've got loads of stories, but I will tell you, my little one, I have a little Maltese named Oliver, and it's funny, when he came into my life, I had a bit of a personal loss, and he came into my life, and I really attached to him. He was my baby, and so we were probably, I think it was about 1.5 years when I realized that he wasn't really behaving like a dog anymore. He was behaving like a baby. Like, he was getting very possessive of me. He was very defensive of me. And I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe that I have literally ruined this dog. I loved him beyond love, and I ruined him. And I made him so he doesn't even feel like a dog anymore. And so I said to my husband, I think we need to do something, because I really feel bad, because I've treated this dog like a baby, and he's taken it to heart. And so so that was kind of my way of pitching to my husband that we needed another dog. And so I got my Maltese Yorkie mix. Her name is Bailey, and she came into our lives, and I cannot tell you what joy that was. Oliver was very apprehensive at first, because he was an only child, and she came along and just brought out the puppy in him and taught him how to be a dog again, and was a companion for him. And I realized, like, our place in the world, and the fact that we can have these dogs and love them, that they really are, they need their own kind to bond with.
And loyalty, like you were talking about commitment and honesty, how we get that from our animals, right? Our animals don't lie to us. Our animals follow through. When they say they want to go out, they want to go out. They never turn around and go, never mind, I changed my mind, I really don't want to go out.
And you better heed that warning. You better listen to them.
Right, and a loyal dog really teaches us, our animals teach us what it's like to be there day in and day out under any circumstances, rain or shine, whether we're in a mood or whatever we're in, they're there for us. And I really appreciate you sharing that with us. So let me see if it's possible to just take a minute, you know, forget that we're recording and forget that there are viewers, and forget that this will be on YouTube and anybody and everybody can watch it. It's just us girls. It's just us gratitude girls chatting and talking and getting to know each other. And we'll give you a chance to speak, you know, ask us questions as well, just so you know we believe in fairness. But I'm just thinking about, maybe there's something that happened way back when, that a story that you'd forgotten about, you know, we're so busy with our existing life. But is this something that you're really grateful for that happened before that you'd like to share with us, that you can bring us back to that moment?
Wow, what a great question. Was something that has happened way back when. You know, I will say this, and it's something that I haven't thought about much before. But when I was 8 years old, I was born and raised in England. And when I was 8 years old, my mom brought my sister and I to the United States. And we came originally on a vacation, and we ended up staying here. And I have to say, which is really unconventional and you would think would be disruptive, but it wasn't. It was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I still have family in England, and I'm still very close to them, but I am truly grateful for coming to this country and living in the United States and having the opportunities that I've had here. And I know that sounds, you know, I only came from England. I didn't come from some third world country or anything. But there truly are opportunities here that we take for granted on a daily basis. And so that's something that I can look back in my life, and I'm truly, truly grateful for my mom having the courage to do that.
Wow, so that was only about 25 years ago you came here, right?
God bless you.
England's a beautiful place. It's so nice to share that with us. See, that going back in time and bringing it and sharing that with us, you know, that's special, because on Gratitude Girls, what we would like to be able to do is host and foster an environment that gives us a chance to speak with our special guests, as you are, and just think about us talking together. You know, that's it. Just, there's nobody else around. And put it out there, because maybe during the course of the day you hadn't thought about that. Like, what will I talk about? Will I speak about when I'm 8 years old today, and to whom? And here it is. Like, now we know it, and we can just imagine you at 8 years old. Now, Vanessa, did everyone always call you Vanessa, or did you ever have a nickname?
Just Ness. I mean, my family has called me Ness. I think that's really it. Ness, Nessa. That's really it. Just shorten my name, but nothing other than that.
I know once in a while I hear you being called V.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, that's more recent. That would be my grown-up nickname. And that, I think, honestly, let me tell you this, I believe that came from the fact that I was the only woman on in a group of male executives, and I honestly think they just tried to, like, make me one of the guys.
Yeah, right, because V could be anything.
Anything. And it just sounds a lot more masculine than Vanessa.
And you're a powerful woman, and you can wear that very well.
Thank you.
Vanessa, can you share a little bit of perhaps a day in the life of Vanessa?
A day in the life of Vanessa. Well, it depends whether I'm here in Salt Lake City or in San Diego, but let me tell you about my yesterday. I woke up at 3:30 to hop on a flight to come to Salt Lake. I had a 6:15 flight to Salt Lake. Arrived here at the office by 9:30. So I flew in. It only takes me about 10 minutes to get from the airport, and I was here by 9:30. I met with Cody for, oh gosh, maybe an hour or so. I had various meetings throughout the day with our executive staff and with my marketing team. There are lots of things. We're doing a lot of introspection right now at Send Out Cards, and we're doing a lot of thinking outside the box and really examining every single department. So I spend a lot of time collaborating with the other executives on different things that we can do to improve the customer and distributor experience, and different things that we can do to streamline our processes internally. So we spend a lot of time on that. That's one of our projects right now, in addition to the other projects that we're working on that are more distributor focused. That would be an internal project. And that's how I divide my day, is what am I doing today that is helping internally, and what am I doing today that is helping externally. Things like helping distributors or giving one-on-one advice or doing a coaching call and things like that. I try to balance my day to make sure that I'm doing something internal and something external, and then I try to do something for myself. sometimes that is a ballet bar class, cardio bar class, or yoga, or just reading a book. So I try to get some balance in my life that way.
So tell me, what's one of your favorite me things to do?
I've really become addicted to cardio bar. And it's just one of those things. I went with my sister kind of on a dare. She's like, I don't know if we can make it through this class. And, you know, I'm always up for a challenge. So we went to a bar class, gosh, in months now. And I have been addicted. I go 3 times a week. And I love it. I love the discipline. I love the release. It's great for releasing tension and stress, but it also is extremely challenging for me because you get what you put in, you get out of it what you put into it. So you can either skate through a class and, you know, not really exert a lot of effort, or you can really, really dig deep and make it challenging for yourself. And that's what I love about it. It's exactly what you make of it.
So would you say that you're a morning person or an evening person?
I am a 24/7 girl.
I felt that. I was waiting for that answer.
I'm not I wake up and I'm happy at night as well. I mean, I do hit walls sometimes where I'm just exhausted, but I think we all do. And as long as I'm focused on it, I wouldn't say I'm morning or evening, but I'm definitely a lot happier in the morning than a lot of people around me. Not necessarily here, but I've had, just throughout my life, there people have made comments like, how are you so peppy in the morning?
Well, is that because you live on the West Coast? Because I would be pretty happy if I woke up on the West Coast in the morning, too. Whoops, did we lose Vanessa? Lori, can you see Vanessa? Okay. Vanessa's coming right back. There you are. There you go. Thank you. Okay, thank you for coming right back. You're fast.
I don't know what happened there.
Okay, we were just waiting for you. We knew you would be back. And I was saying that waking up on the West Coast is a great way to be happy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It is.
And how did you end up on the West Coast? So you came from England, you went to the United States, and what brought you, besides the sun and the beach? Maybe I should stop right now. There's no other answer. What brought you to where you are today?
My family, truly. So we moved to Ohio from England, and then after that, I lived all over the place. And no, my father was not in the military or anything like that. But we lived all over the place. I have in my adult life, and then I went through a divorce years and years and years ago, and I wanted to be closer to my family. And I was very young, and my parents had moved to California. They'd moved to San Diego, and so I just wanted to be closer to my family. And at the time, it was just my parents in San Diego. Since then, my sister has moved to San Diego as well. So I have a sister that lives in San Diego, and I have 2 sisters that still live in England.
Wow. Would you like to say hi to your sisters?
Hey! I talk to them all the time on Facebook.
Thank goodness for Facebook. Well, you'll be able to send them this link, and they can see what you were doing tonight. So Vanessa, let me ask you a question. Is there anyone during the course of the busy day or week that you've had that you would like to say something to that person, but you just haven't had time, and if you would like, feel free to take the opportunity here on Gratitude Girls.
I think I will say this. Today was a really impactful day for me. We had been challenged with the Ice Bucket Challenge that I'm sure you all have heard about. And Steve Schultz and I were challenged with that. And it was turned into something even bigger than just the challenge itself. It was a big card sending frenzy, and thank you for the cards that you sent me. So, but it turned into something much bigger than we thought it would. It would just turn into something huge. And through the course of that, though, I wanted to make sure that we didn't lose the message. I wanted to make sure that we didn't lose the fact that there are patients dealing with ALS every single day. And I happen to have a good friend, her name is Maria, and her brother was diagnosed with ALS several years ago. And so I really wanted to reach out, and she just coincidentally used to live in Las Vegas, and she now lives here in Salt Lake City. It's just crazy how things work out in life. And so I asked her to come in and speak to us and speak to the executive team and really tell us what the journey has been like since her brother's diagnosis. And I'm so incredibly grateful, first of all, that she had the courage to do that, because I know it's not easy. But second of all, the impact that that message has already had on people is profound. And it's something that none of us could really predict. But it certainly is something that I think has been able, it has given a name and a face to a horrible disease and really brought it home for people and taught them a little bit more about what ALS is all about and why we should be paying attention to this. And I know, believe me, I know there are a lot of great causes out there. This just happens to be one that came to us and we were able to help with it, and that I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
And Vanessa, I watched your video twice, and I saw what you and Steve did, and it's amazing and it's wonderful. I just, in honor of Maurice Ben-David, I was also challenged and nominated to take the Ice Bucket Challenge for a dear friend of ours, Paul Ben-David, and his dad passed away 5 months ago. And when Paul Ben-David nominated me, you know, it was so tough. You know, I had tears. It was hard to do, and we were at his unveiling just a week ago, and I was so excited that when I was on the 22nd floor, and when I took the ice, I kind of like missed. But there was a whole construction crew across downtown Toronto, like 15 men yelling and screaming, so I danced a little bit, you know, and I kind of missed, but didn't really miss, and I thought, should I do it again? So I'm actually going to take the challenge again, and I'm going to show that I kind of know that I missed, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure that I was just so emotional at the moment, I really didn't know where my head was.
That's it.
That's not right. At the moment, you're in this deep emotion. It's, I'm doing this for a cause. I'm doing this for someone. I'm thinking of my friend and his dad, and it overwhelms you.
Right.
So we saw what you did, and that's amazing that you're sharing that message. And let me ask you about the future. So Vanessa, we all have desires and dreams. Is there one thing you would like to share with us, with the Gratitude Girls, about the future for Vanessa?
I obviously have a lot of goals and a lot of different things associated with the business and associated with send out cards. I have a lot of things that we want to accomplish, and I think for the future, that's a really, really difficult question for me, because I'm so happy in my skin. I don't know how else to say it. I've reached a point where I'm so satisfied with my life and happy in my skin. And of course, there are so many other things that I want to do in the world, but this is a really good place right now. And one of the things that I've been guilty of in the past is not enjoying the moment, being so rushed to get to the next thing that I don't appreciate what I have today. And so that is the lesson that I've tried really, really hard, especially since coming to Send Out Cards, since reading Cody's book, Promptings, which has had a profound impact on my life, obviously, because that's what brought me here. But learning to live in the moment and learning to be grateful for what I have, but also with the eye on how I can help other people and how I can do things in the future that have a greater impact on a greater number of people. So I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I do know I do have absolute unwavering commitment and no doubt in my mind that there are great things in my future, and I can't wait to get there. Although I'm trying to enjoy the moment, I'm like, what's next? What's next? What's next? I know that amazing things are coming down our path.
I can feel that. Thank you so much for sharing that, because enjoying the moment is certainly very important for all of us. And I just feel that you're bigger than life, you know, Vanessa. I feel your energy and I feel your smile, and you might be in Salt Lake City, but I can feel you right here. And it's amazing just to have your passion around us on so many levels. To have you share with us on Gratitude Girls is a huge honor. Is there anything that you would like to know about Lori and I that you would be willing to ask, that we'd be willing to answer? Can you hear me?
Sorry, my audio is a little messed up, but do I have questions for you?
For Lori and I.
Yes. So Lori, I'm sorry, the audio is a little mixed up. So my questions for you, Lori, I know that you're doing all kinds of things on a daily basis. I see you all over Facebook, and I know that that's exciting, but I also see that you're talking about life off of Facebook. You talk about all the things that you do on a daily basis. And so I really wondered, what is your goal?
Well, my biggest thing is I just, you know, from the beginning, you know, Cody always said, send out a card once a day, just give to give, a card a day and a gift a week. And so I've always focused on that a lot. And when my children were smaller, when I first started 10 years ago, you know, I couldn't get out and go to networking events and a lot of other things. I was volunteer teaching at my children's Christian school Monday through Friday, and then after a couple years I started homeschooling them, but it was still, you know, I had 4 children at home, so I couldn't just run around all the time doing business meetings. And so that was one of my big things, though, was just my slogan was, I get to send out happiness to others. And then after a while, I was able to say, and I get paid to do it. How great is that? And so that is still, honestly, my slogan, and that is my goal. Of course, I would love to get to Eagle, and I will. But still, in the process of getting there, I know that I love to make the difference in the world for people. And I always think, you know, who should I send a card to, or whose day needs to be made today? You know, who should I send something to? And I try to think of who crosses my mind, and that's the person that I either send a card and or a gift to. And I usually average between 5 and 10 cards a day anyway. Just different people come across my mind, or if I see them on Facebook, you know, and I see their messages, then, you know, like one day a girl just posted a comment, a friend of mine, and she just posted, oh, I'm having a bad day, I need some chocolate. And so I went in our system and I typed out a card and I said, here's some chocolate. And of course she got it a couple days later, so it wasn't that day. But, you know, and then she called me and was just like, oh, thank you so much. You know, that was so sweet of you. And so it's just little things like that just able to make somebody's day. Last week a couple weeks ago, a friend of mine took his wife out on a date, and he's a photographer, so he takes all these amazing pictures anyway, and his wife is just gorgeous. And so he always posts pictures of her all the time. Well, this one picture he posted, it was a picture of her standing there with this cute little smile, and then he kissed her on the cheek. And she was all dressed up in her nice evening gown because he was taking her out for her birthday. And so she had posted that on Facebook, or he did. I forget which one of them did, but one of them did. And so I swiped that picture, and I put it on a metal print, and I put their last name, 2014, and put a little background around it. And I sent it to them as a gift. And, I mean, when they got it, both of them were messaging me on Facebook and just was like, how did you do this? Oh, this is so great. This is so nice. You went above and beyond. And, you know, and I didn't do it, of course, for the accolades, and, you know, it was private, but it's just amazing how it made me feel that they got this wonderful gift and they loved it. And I mean, when I saw their picture, I saw that you've got to capture that moment. It can't be just on a digital image, you know, you've got to save it. So it's just things like that I love to do. And, you know, but I do believe when I do that, then, you know, that goodness comes back to me, you know, in all different kinds of ways. And I've seen that over the years too, so.
That's fantastic. I love that type of thing. You know, you just reminded me, I had a friend who lost her sister recently. She was my best friend in junior high and high school, and she lost her younger sister. And I was able to go onto Facebook and find all kinds of pictures of their family together and things like that. And I made a big card for her, and I made a card for her parents as well with all of these pictures. And it's that special touch, that added touch. You're not doing it for accolades or for anything other than to just give somebody a little piece of happiness, a little memento. And I think that's what makes this company so very special, is that we get to do things like that every single day. I mean, it didn't take me long to make that card. I'm sure it didn't take you very long to make that print for your friend, but the impact that has is everlasting.
You're right.
Yeah, and it's so simple. It's so easy. I mean, you know, you don't leave your desk to do it, you know. You can do it from wherever you've got a computer and internet access. And that's it. And just saving people's, I very rarely even send any regular catalog cards. You know, one of the things that we said for the longest time was, we've got 15,000 cards in our system, and, you know, the other stores have about 1,500 cards, and, you know, and even now I'll say, and with Sincere, we've got thousands. You know, 15,000 cards weren't enough. We've got several thousand more on Sincere. You know, you can pick from 100,000 different cards of anybody that posted it. But, you know, how cool is it to steal somebody's, you know, pictures off their Facebook, to send them that card, though, you know, and share that moment with them, that's it. There's so many, you know, so many things that I realized after, you know, after Brian's accident, I realized we hadn't gotten most of our digital pictures. We hadn't saved anything, you know, in years. It was all digital, other than what I created on, like, my iPhone cover and my iPad cover and things like that with our system. And so, you know, so after that, I just thought, I wonder how many other people were in that same boat, you know? And so whenever people post really pretty pictures or nice or even funny, cute pictures, you know, I'll swipe that picture and download it to a card and send them a cutesy message with it, or an emotional message, or whatever, you know, pertains to that picture, and send it to them. So then they have it in print and to save forever, you know? And that just, you can't put a price on that, you know?
You cannot buy that feeling that they get, and the feeling that you get from giving. It's amazing.
And Lori and Vanessa, we never know the impression that we make on someone with what we send to them. They may not Facebook us or call us and tell us, and we may never find out, but then we do. You know, sometimes it's 4 or 5 years later and someone says, I've held on to that since the day you gave it to me. So we just don't know how we affect people's lives with the things that we do.
So true. So true. And that is in a positive and negative way. That's one thing that we have to remember, though, is the words that we speak and the things that we do on a daily basis do have a profound impact on others. And that's why I think it's so very important that we do act on our promptings, that we do reach out, that we do express our gratitude, that we live in the moment, because you don't know how much time you have, for one. And the other thing is, you don't know if your very words are exactly what that person needs to hear that day, in that moment.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'll share this short story with you because it happened today. Almost 5 years ago, I joined Send Out Cards, and I had sent a card to a friend of mine in Montreal. And maybe I sent probably, one or two a year, not many. And today, she sent me a message because she had her baby a few days ago. And she said, I'm really busy with the baby. I asked her for some pictures. And she said, I'm really busy with the baby. I need to log into my Send Out Cards account now. She hadn't logged into her gift account for I don't know how many years. Now, Vanessa, we're talking about a girl who didn't really show an interest, and besides, when I met her, she was not speaking English. She was from France, so we were having, some language barriers, although we were friends. So today, she needed to log into it. It took me, milliseconds, and I sent her a message and said, here's your account, log in. She wants to make baby cards, and I'm going to help her with it. But little did I know that for almost 5 years, what I've been sending her has been planting a seed, and here's her baby, and now she only wants to use Send Out Cards to send out that message. I was so thrilled and so excited. I'm making cards for her with the baby and just doing all kinds of things, and she said, I'm busy with the baby, but I'm getting into my Send Out Cards account. That just made me feel so good. It felt like all these years what I've been sending to her is really helping her now.
Planting seeds, and you never know what's going to grow.
Right. You never know who's going to have a baby and then want to send a baby announcement.
It's true. It's true.
A lot of our friends are grandparents, so you never know who's going to have a new grandchild.
And what are your goals? What are your specific business goals that you're reaching for right now?
The question is, what are my goals, right?
Right.
So my goals are to be the best rah-rah in the universe. My goals are
accomplished.
To do things for... Sorry?
Mission accomplished on that one.
Oh, thank you, thank you. One of my personal goals are to do for my husband what he has done for me. We have a big love story. I won't necessarily go into it at this moment, but the short version is David and I were married almost 28 years ago, and we were divorced for 16 and a half years, and we recently got back together and remarried, and David asked me to marry him in a Send Out Cards. And so we are remarried now. So it's 28 years in total, and being divorced for 16 and a half years and getting remarried again is an amazing story. And one of my personal goals is to do for David what he did for me when he met me and married me when I was 28. He did an amazing thing for my life and my future, and he mentored me and molded me into a very fearless woman, a courageous woman. And that broke down when we got a divorce, although maybe I shouldn't say broke down, but it took a different turn. And I came back fearless, but very New York, hard and cold, although I didn't live in New York anymore. And I lived a different life because I was unhappy without David. And my goal is to do for him what he did for me now. I'm 56 and David is 65, and I would like him to relax while I take him on the ride of his life, and I will not stop until I do that.
I love it. What a great story. That is so special.
And it's with send-out cards, to be very crystal clear. I'm not going to take them on a boat and go sailing, not that kind of ride. I mean this kind.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you for asking that question, Vanessa. I didn't really think I was going to be telling that story. So tell me if you can, let's talk about Gratitude Girls and the audience. Would you like to shed some light on our audience? Because here you are, you're a guest on our show, and there are other friends and members and people that don't know us who will get to meet us after today. Is there anything that you would like to say to our new guests who are coming on the show? So what is it like to be on Gratitude Girls? What can you focus on? Are you enjoying yourself with us? Can you tell us a little bit for our new viewers?
I love this. Yes, it's absolutely fantastic. What I love is the opportunity to have a two-way conversation, which I think is, or a three-way conversation as it is today. But a lot of times I do a lot of conference calls and webinars and things like that, and it's just me blasting out to the world. And so to have a conversation and to get to know you ladies better and to have this dialogue going, it's something that, you know, that type of thing really nurtures my soul. And I love to have that opportunity. And I think that anybody coming on here would love to have the opportunity to share some of their personal stories, but also hear about you and hear about what makes you tick. I think that the things that we learn about other people help us be better people. And I think there's a lot for us to learn from each other. I love the fact that you are truly listening and not waiting to speak. And there's a huge difference. And so I think that that's something that people can look forward to as they come on here, that you're genuinely interested. You're not just waiting for the next opening to say something. And I think that that's something that you see when I've done radio interviews and things like that. You can tell that the host hasn't really listened to what you're saying. They're just waiting for the next question. And so I love the fact that you're open to meandering through the stories, and wherever this may take us, that's where we go. And I love that.
This is Gratitude Girls, but the show is for you. So we've designed our platform for our guests to really come out here and share what they're comfortable sharing. We want our guests, and we would like you to have this as an opportunity to say something. Is there someone on your mind or in your mind that you're thinking about? When we think about gratitude, you know, sometimes people just come to our head like, oh, I'm thinking of that person. Is there someone that comes to your mind when we think about gratitude?
Yeah, there is, and I'm sorry, it's just, I'm going to get emotional because it's just hitting me. But yes, there is. I am extremely grateful. My family we've had a rough year. It's been a rough year in terms of some of the health challenges that my family has had. Not me personally, but my stepfather was very, very, very ill. My mother is ill right now, and my husband has been fantastic in being so supportive. And his grandmother was recently ill. I mean, we literally were driving a couple of weeks ago from hospital to hospital visiting people. It was the craziest thing. And so there have been times, and I know you've probably faced this in your own lives, when you think, really, I don't know if I can handle one more thing. It's just I'm at the end of my rope. And then somebody comes along and you feel buoyed by their energy, buoyed by the fact that they're willing to face this with you, and that you will, you'll get through it. You wonder ow, you wonder what kind of show you're going to be on the other side. But the fact that you have family to lean on, and that's, you know, everything from my husband to my sister to my brother-in-law to my extended family, they've all been so fantastic in being supportive. And I try to give that. I try to be that person that they can depend on and they can lean on. But there are times when you throw up your hands and think, I just need a little support here. And the fact that they are there for me has been amazing.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing that, because gratitude is a word, but it's an emotion, and sometimes we need to sit with that emotion and let things percolate, because it's not just about, right, the person that we spoke to 5 minutes ago or an hour ago, but to be able to foster those people and those names, and to be able to take that and to bring it to the front of our mind, right? Sometimes it's in the back of our mind, and we want to honor someone, and we want to be able to spend time with them in our life. And we're in such a hurry. You know, I like to go to a special seat in my home, and I know that that's the seat where I'm going to have those moments, those quiet moments with myself. And I'm going to think of all the people that I'm so grateful for. It's almost like my gratitude chair. I go there and I know that's what I'm supposed to do, because we're in such a hurry, right? We're grabbing our phone, we're out the door, we're excited, we're having a good time, but to ground ourselves, and for Gratitude Girls to be able to foster that environment for our guests, and for you, Vanessa, to give you something that you didn't have when you woke up this morning, to give you something that you'll have, you know, for forever and ever, is the opportunity to have us listen to you. It's an honor for us, and for you to share with us and our audience. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy day to get to know us better and to have us get to know you better.
Well, it's truly been my honor. Thank you so much.
Lori, I would love to ask you a question if you're open to that. Is there a delay in the voice? So, Lori, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'll take that silence as a yes. Partner, it's always an honor and a pleasure to be here with you on Gratitude Girls. And, you know, we go live and you don't know what's happening, you know, 15 minutes before we get on the show. We have a great time before the show, during, and after. And what I want to say to you is, you are an amazing partner, Lori Delk. This has been a wonderful, from day one, we did not realize how wonderful it would be. Like, we knew it would be good, but we didn't know it would be this good. And I look forward to each and every single show with you. I look forward to listening to you, and I look forward to seeing you. And I watch our shows. As soon as we're done, I watch our shows right away while it's fresh in my memory. I can't get enough of it. And I want to thank you for all that you do to make sure that we go on the air, that everyone is promoted, and that you're here as the Lori Delk Mountain of Gratitude. Imagine a big mountain and name it Lori Delk, and this is what you are to me. And I'm thrilled that we can share what we have in our vision with the world. So I wanted to personally thank you. And on that, oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. I think on my end there's a delay on this different computer that I'm not normally on. So, but thank you so much. That is so sweet. You're not supposed to make me cry on the show, right?
Is that a rule? I don't know.
It has been an amazing year, and yes, thank you so much for being my Gratitude Girls partner. I love doing these shows with you and love our personal one-on-one talks. as well as all the things that we get to go through before we get on the air too, right?
Oh, Vanessa, that's another show. Yeah, we're having a good.
Well, I'm very. Thank you so much.
Say that one more time, Vanessa. Could you repeat that?
I'm so grateful to both of you, and I really appreciate the opportunity this evening. Thank you both very much for everything you do.
You're welcome. It's really an honor. We're thrilled that you're here and that you will always be part of Gratitude Girls, because you'll be on our website and you can view what we did tonight and how much fun we had. So, Lori, would you like me to speak to our audience, or would you like to speak to our audience? We're looking forward to feature your gratitude story on our show for future shows. And we are now arranging our fall schedule. So please keep sending in your stories. Contact Lori and I, Facebook us, send us a tweet, text us. We can't say call us because that's not what people do anymore, but whatever method you'd like to do, please share your gratitude story with us so that we can decide who is going on to our next show and arrange that with your schedule. So when you have a gratitude story, Lori, would you like to tell the audience what they can do in order to get in touch with us, please?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Send us your gratitude stories on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/gratitudegirls, and we'll let you know when your story could be featured with us. We'll see you next month right here, same place, same channel, every fourth Tuesday of every single month, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain, and 6:30 Pacific. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.